Hi, friends. Welcome to the Mastermind Moments podcast.
Hosted by your pals, Josh and Sasha.
Join us during our weekly mastermind as we collaborate on how to make the most out of our lives.
Not only are we going to mastermind our careers, we're going to work on all areas of life together.
Let's do it. Listen in as we make the most of our mastermind moments.
Hey, stranger, how are you?
Hi, stranger. Indeed, I'm good.
Oh my
I'm
God,
good.
good morning. Thanks for getting on so early. I know it's crack ass early there right now.
Do you know what? It's probably not by most people's standards, but it is by my standards. I am so used to waking up about 10 minutes before I have to go to work or wake up and roll out and go to my desk. So this is pretty early for me, but we
had to make it happen.
So
It's been like a month.
here we are. Has it actually
I
been a
don't
month?
know. When was the last time we talked?
It already has been. I think it's been, yeah, good, at least 3 weeks, I
I
reckon.
think the last time we had a chat, I was definitely in Thailand, but I feel like maybe I was in Chiang Mai because I know we recorded twice that week.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think we've recorded since you
So
left
it's been a
Thailand,
month.
which is wow.
That's the longest I think we've
Wow.
ever gone without talking because we haven't sent voice messages
Yeah,
either.
that's crazy. As we'll talk about and as we briefly touched on when arranging this, it's I don't know about for you, but life has been fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It feels like the last few weeks in particular, shit has just hit the fan here. And yeah, but we'll get into it.
Before we get into it, let's spin a wheel. All right. Landing on family. How do you celebrate milestones and achievements with your family? What do you think?
We usually just do big dinners, so we make sure that we get together and we celebrate by I'm not sure what the right way to put it is. I think it's an act of service in that we cook for each other or we'll take each other out for dinner and pay for it, and it's making each other feel nice and valued in that regard. I remember growing up, I used to I didn't get as much praise from my family as, for example, my sister Bella. She was the golden child. I was more the bronze child. I would argue that Cheska is now the golden child. She's exceeding us both.
Okay.
But growing up, it was just Bella and I. And yes, she was definitely the golden child. And she would get the recognition by my parents would post on Facebook about it, like always. And I never got any Facebook posts. It was a running joke in the family eventually, or it is now.
Yeah.
That if you look back on my parents' Facebook, it's, oh my God, Bella's done this, Bella's done that. And then there's just like nothing about me.
Oh, right. Oh my God, my
Absolutely
favorite
nothing.
thing was when Cheska, I think he told me this story when we were in person, but Cheska like took her picture and put it on top of her picture. Was it just Bella's face that she put her like little photo on top of, or like how did that? Was it all of you or what?
It was every photo. So there was in my house, in my mum's house, there are loads and loads of photos of us, to be fair. But actually, no, I take that back. Now there are lots of photos of all of us. At this point, when this happened, there was lots of photos of Bella, a couple of photos of me, but Bella was just plastered all over the house, as you've seen. And so Cheska took it upon herself to get like little sort of tiny pictures of her head, like headshots, and just put them on top of every single photo in the house. And it was just Bella. It was just Bella because I think it was mainly the photos downstairs, which are mostly Bella, and it made us take notice and clearly made a change. Sometimes you got to protest to get what you want.
Funny. That's really funny. So no Facebook posts for you to celebrate your achievements, none.
No Facebook posts, but I didn't give them much to celebrate. They're not gonna go, well, congratulations to Josh on throwing a massive fucking house party. I didn't give them much to celebrate when I was younger.
Didn't you get arrested at that point?
now
Shouldn't
I'm
they put
old.
your like mugshot up on the fridge? I think that would have been perfect.
Exactly. It should have been like a wanted poster across
Yeah.
Facebook instead of a we're so proud of Josh. But yeah, no, as I got older, so I've done more. But then they shifted away from posting on Facebook. And also, I feel like the stuff that I've done in my older age hasn't necessarily been stuff to publicly shout
Yeah.
about in most instances, overcoming addiction and stuff. But Yeah, anyway, that's me and my family.
I
What
don't
about you?
think my family really celebrates my accomplishments. I don't think we celebrate any of our accomplishments really, like at all. We celebrate birthdays and like holidays, but not really accomplishments. Also, it's just me. It's not me and my siblings. And it's also at this point, like, not to be like, I accomplished so much, but really, do my parents need to congratulate me when I start my business or when have my get a promotion at my job or do whatever? Do they really need to Not that they need to, but I don't, even when I think I launched my business, I'm not sure either of them like said anything. Like it was very much
Mm.
so just cool. She's started another business. Like, great. Like, I think I'll send like texts to my parents and be like, oh, by the way, I got a promotion and raise. And they're like, good job. I don't think we don't really do anything to celebrate. Like, me personally, it's like my catchphrase. Oh, what are you doing to celebrate? But I celebrate myself typically, but I don't like celebrating anyway with my family typically.
So that sounds like you're talking about celebrating yourself, like your family don't really celebrate you. Do you like, is there anything that you do to make your family feel good?
I don't know what they fucking accomplish for me to do that. Nothing for them has changed. They've both been in the same jobs. Like, my aunt retired. She and I went on a really amazing trip together after her retirement. But I didn't take her on that trip. We just traveled with her and celebrated like that time with her. But yeah, with my parents, I don't know if they've done anything to like that was big or like celebrating anything big. Like neither of them have really had that. And I literally don't think my parents have had a change in job since I was like a kid at all. Well, I don't know if there's been
Yeah.
anything really to celebrate in that way. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
I
fair
can't.
enough.
I
Fair
can only
enough.
think
For
career
me, like,
things, but
yeah,
like health wise, their health is down the
yeah, I
toilet.
guess that it makes,
Like,
yeah, I guess as you get older, that's how it happens, right? You have less things, less major life events to celebrate. You have big birthdays, you have career changes, but yeah, there's not a huge amount of course, you can always achieve and always
yeah.
grow, but there's much less of it as you
I
get
think
older.
so. I threw my dad a sick ass 60th birthday party. I spent months planning that thing and I enjoyed the heck out of
I
planning that. That was
remember.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we flew in. I just told him that we were going away for the weekend. I told him, like, we're going to Florida. It's hot. We're going for this many days. Pack a bathing suit. Didn't tell him what we were doing. And then we flew out like 20 something of his friends to this huge Airbnb with 30 bedrooms or something. And just had him sit outside and just kept sending them out like as they were coming in, and it was epic. We had a boat ride, we had a fire breather come to the house. Like, I was basically the chaperone for this like bender situation because they went through
That's so
so
sick.
much booze. They went through so much booze. It was crazy. And we just sat at the house and hung out and chilled out. Like, it was really fun. And that's like the last time I did something to celebrate, like something big. Yeah, but it's also like a birthday. It's not like an accomplishment or anything. Birthdays we celebrate. Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, I get it. Can you plan my 60th? That
Hell
sounds
yeah.
unbelievable.
I'll play your I could play your 30th. That'd be fun. I can work with
That's actually that's a very good
yeah.
point. Yeah, because I promise you it's gonna get to like July next year, or even August the 1st
Yeah.
next year, and I'm gonna be like, well, shit, I don't know what to do. Let me just throw a party at a bar, just like I do every
For a
fucking
year.
year. But it's my 30th, so I need to make it
Yeah.
special.
I'll talk to your lady. We'll plan something cool. Maybe we'll go somewhere cool and just not tell you.
What, just you and her?
Yeah, and just leave you home. Actually, us and your entire family will do like a girls trip
Yeah.
and just leave you home.
Yeah, that sounds great. It sounds
I
riveting
think
for me.
so. I think that's absolutely the way we should go about doing this.
Yeah, wait, can't wait. But how are you? What have you been up to? Where are you
I
right
am
now?
outside of Kobe, Japan, like, and outside of kind of Osaka, Japan. I've been in Japan now
Okay.
I got here the 1st of October, so it's been like almost a month I've been in Japan. I've been with my digital nomad group for just under 3 weeks, which has been honestly really nice because traveling full time has been a pretty isolating experience. I've seen a lot of loved ones, but I think people think I'm on vacation and not understanding how much I'm working and how much I'm doing while I'm doing this. But these people also get it because they're doing, not all of them are doing the same thing. I don't think only one or two are also traveling full time. Like for a lot of people, they're like working remotely and this is just like their trip they're taking. But there are a handful of others who are also traveling full time. And it's been really nice to be with people who understand the lifestyle and who aren't judging me for like working late nights or stepping away from an activity to take a call or things like that. So it's really nice to be around people who understand and who get it. And it's been really nice to connect in that way with aligned people. I will say, like, I've been physically and emotionally pretty down. Like, I'd say wheel of life wise, right? Like, I'd say friends are great. Honestly, I haven't really I've had like friends from other like walks of life reach out to me, I think, because we'll get into that in a little bit, but I've had like friends reach out to me. I haven't been as tight with my family recently, but even these like new connections I'm making, like connection, I think is feeling really good. But the physical and mental health have not been great. I had the flu last week. I was down bad. Like it was rough. When I went from Tokyo to Kyoto, I was like, feeling a little under the weather and I took some medicine. I'm like, okay, I'll kick it. And I was just having like runny nose and sore throat for the week, but nothing bad. Like I was still functioning. I was still going out, doing all the things. And then I had 2 nights out in a row and woke up that morning and we checked out of the Kyoto Airbnb like place and moved to Osaka and I was down bad and it was not a hangover. I had like fever, chills, the works. And I literally got to the Airbnb in Osaka and I was like showered and went to sleep and I was in that bed for 40 to 50 hours straight. Yeah, and I just haven't fully, I feel much better now. Like I'm only blowing my nose. I'm not really coughing too much. I'm only blowing my nose a couple times a day, but I'm still walking around everywhere with a fucking tissue box with me. So I'm physically have been pretty down bad and for the last couple weeks. And then I think mental health wise has also not been great. I've just been really sad and homesick and I think I just didn't love Japan as much as I thought I was going to.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just like it's a really cool country. Like it's amazing and I'm seeing all these incredible things and like the culture is very cool. The food's amazing and like the experiences are really cool. But I was on such emotional high in Thailand and I've dipped since then. And I think I'm like things are on the up and up, but I don't know how much of that has been like tied to not feeling great physically. Like I think when you're not feeling great physically and you're like sick and you're not and you just like want to be home in your own bed and you're sleeping on a motherfucking futon on the floor and you can feel the floor and you just like, need a grilled cheese. Like it's like you're not gonna feel great or like emotionally either. But I'd say connection wise things have been really good. And also like romantically things are decent too. I'm like hooking up with one of the guys on the trip and also Mr. Fososis is coming to Asia. He booked his flight.
Okay.
So
Nice.
he's joining me and my best friend. He's meeting me in a couple locations, and then Mr. Fofosis is flying and meeting us. And then my best friend goes home, and then Mr. Fofosis and I will continue on for another like 2.5 weeks together. I am skipping India because he's coming, and it didn't make sense for him to stay with extended family and like family. It just
fair enough.
So we're doing Southeast Asia together, and then also like hooking up with somebody on the digital nomad trip too. So have a bit of a roster going, nothing crazy. But yeah, like connections are great, but like physical mental health have not been great.
Yeah. And I mean, I was going to say that the physical health, I mean, I guess it's the time of year. I don't know how the weather is in Japan, but like here, everyone is getting fucking sick at the moment. I'm literally trying to arrange to meet people. People are off sick at work all the time. Luckily, so I was really sick, pretty much exactly what you just described, like bedbound for days. A few weeks ago, like a month ago, like really sick. And I don't really get sick. It usually happens at the start of like the change of seasons when it goes from like kind of summer to fall/winter is when I just get sick once and then that's it for the winter and I'm done. I get really sick and that's it. So hopefully that's it. But I know exactly what you mean, like the mental health side of things. It takes a massive hit because, first of all, you've just got all of your energy sucked out and it's fucking horrible. But you're also, you feel sorry for yourself and you're wallowing in that kind of that physical feeling that transfers to mental. And I think it carries over. And honestly, I would say I haven't recovered from. I've had a series of unfortunate events. As I say, shit's hit the fan for me since then. It all went wrong at once, which we'll get into later. But it's, yeah, I completely get it. So I think credit where credit's due to that, but also completely understandable that you'd feel homesick. And would you say, so if we move away from physical health and we move away from feeling homesick, do you think there's any other reasons why you might be
I
feeling
don't
low?
know. Funny enough, I haven't talked to my therapist in a month, but I talked to him yesterday and you today, so that's hilarious. But yeah, my therapist asked me literally the same question. And I'm like, I'm not sure, because honestly, other than a couple of rainy days and a couple of like chilly days, which I'm a little grateful for because I brought one sweater and one jacket. I'm like, oh, I get to wear my one sweater one time, great. And I get to experience fall for a couple of days. The weather's been like incredible in Japan. It's been hot. It's been beautiful. Again, a couple of rain days, but whatever. And so I can't really say it's seasonal. And I don't know. I've just been feeling down. I'm hoping that it was just like feeling under the weather. And I will say my mood is like ticking up. Like the better I feel physically, my mood is getting better, which is good. And the other part is, even though I'm not feeling great, my production levels have been next level. Like, I feel like I've gotten so much shit done. Like, my traveling is done. Like, my planning for all the travels is done through Christmas. I don't know what I'm doing for the next year, but whatever, I'll figure it out. Like, stuff at work it's busy, but I'm getting through so much. I've been, like, this digital nomad trip has been great. I've gotten so much work done. Not as much for the podcasts, but I think it's been good to get ahead for the 9 to 5, especially if I'm like about to go into my busy season. I'm literally about to go into my busy season in a couple weeks, so it's good to get ahead on my other projects so that I can just focus on what I need to focus on for the rest of the year. But I don't know if there's like a particular reason. I also think if I just don't, and this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like as I'm traveling, I'm learning that I need to be somewhere where I can sit by a body of water at least once a day or once every couple of days, because I've been in Japan for about a month and I haven't had any like pool time or any time to just sit and be by water. And like in Thailand, I had that every day. Like I was by the pool every day. And I think I'm realizing now, we've talked about it so much, like how seasonal depression like gets a toll on you. But like having that, I think what I'm realizing is like having that time to like, sit by a beach or sit by a pool every day or every couple of days is like that couple hour reset for me to be in my thoughts, reflect, like just rest, do nothing, take a real actual break, because I'm really not great at taking breaks. Like I had cut out TV and social media this year. I'm just working. If I'm not doing my travels, I'm just straight up working. I'm grinding till late in the night. And my pool time is like I never work. It's pretty rare that I work by a pool. And it's like literally my time for rest and recharging. And it's either that or I'm walking around a city, which I also haven't been doing very much of because I've been sick. I'm like losing those two really grounding practices. I haven't been meditating a ton either since being in Japan. When I'm by myself, I do it a lot, but when I'm out, like when you're I don't know, I just haven't been since Japan. So like these 3 grounding practices are like on right now. But I will say, since feeling better, my mood has also been a little bit brighter. But I don't know, maybe it's also like the grounding practices are gone too. Thankfully, I think for the rest of the trip, I'll be in like hot places, and I think I did prioritize like making sure I had a gym and a pool available and like beaches and just like being able to be in warmth. But it's interesting to note, especially as I'm considering like where I want to start like moving and like where I want to be grounding myself like physically in the world. Like it's really helpful to know, okay, like this piece is so vital to my mental health.
Yeah, that's really important. I know part of this year was rediscovering or discovering what you want from where you live and looking at, as a result of that, where you want to live. So I think I'm really glad that you've come to that realization now, even towards the end of the year. I think that's great. So you mentioned about not falling behind on grounding practices and stuff, which is understandable when you're traveling. And you mentioned about prioritizing places with pools and gyms. Have you been able to get moving? And I know obviously you were sick and you're still recovering from that while you've been in Japan in particular, because I think in Thailand you were still able to do it to
I
an
was gymming
extent.
a lot in
Um,
Thailand.
yeah. So how have you been
I
doing it
haven't been
recently?
gymming much in Japan. I'd say like most of my exercise is coming through walking, but again, not doing a ton of it because I've just been not feeling well. But also with this digital nomad group, they plan workouts for us like 2 to 3 times a week. So I did
Oh, cool.
yoga. I've been doing like yoga with them or hiking with them, or we'll be walking around seeing sights together. So they have been planning some workouts, which has been really great. But I have honestly, I've been so under the weather. Like I just haven't beyond walking and like the yoga a couple times, haven't really been moving as much. But I think every place I booked pretty much for the rest of the year has a gym. So it should be good for the
Nice.
rest of the
Okay.
year too. And it'll be interesting to see the juxtaposition as well between like Japan and the next three countries, four countries. I'm going to 4 countries after this. Just so nuts. But yeah, the next 4 countries, like I think I prioritize like making sure I have spaces for those practices. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess it's easier in some places than it is in others. And I think, again, going into this year, you were going to be traveling all over the place into such a diverse range of locations that it was always going to be hard. There was going to be such a variety in the environment and the kind of places you're staying in, and access to beach, access to water, as you just said. I'm interested to hear more about Japan and like how, because you said it hasn't really lived up to expectations in some
Yeah.
ways, and how much that is related to how you've been feeling. Or do you think that it is because it hasn't lived up to expectations that's made you even more homesick because you're like, actually, I'm not enjoying this place as much as I want to be if I'm this
I
far from
think it's a
home?
combination of everything. I think it's like I
Mm,
think the not feeling well has become like a cycle between not feeling well and not loving Japan as much as I thought I was going to. And I think those like have negatively reinforced each other. But then also at the same time, like I liked Tokyo. I liked Tokyo. I had some good quality time there. I really just spent my day, I had 3 full days there. I just wandered, which I really enjoyed. Like I really enjoyed wandering about and like just exploring and working a ton. And then got to Kyoto, loved Kyoto. The accommodations were great. Like I was loved the community aspect of this. The Osaka leg, which again is when I got sick. So I like got really sick in Osaka and I like haven't really also the accommodations for this leg suck. Like people are
really?
really unhappy. We've had a couple people leave. Like it
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah.
What you mean on this leg? You mean throughout the whole of Japan or just Osaka?
Osaka, yeah.
Okay,
Like
right.
the accommodations really suck. They're really far away from everything. They're not clean, they're not nice. Like it's been bad. And we've had
Damn.
people
Okay.
leave. It's been like a whole thing. And I think that was disappointing. And maybe I'm just not exploring the right neighborhoods in Osaka, but it's not really, ooh, this is my vibe. It's not really speaking to me in that kind of way. But no, it's not hard to describe, but it's because Japan is such an incredible place because it's so different in a lot of ways and so incredible. They're so detail oriented in the culture and it's not such a polite, safe society and they're rule followers and no one's looking jaywalks and it's like crazy. Like the food is incredible and there's just so much culture and depth here. And it's really cool. I just haven't felt like really connected to this place as much as other places I've been to. And I didn't fall in love with this country in the way that everyone I've talked to who's come to Japan has fallen in love with Japan. And I haven't fallen in love with this place, it's a cool
Yeah,
place, but
that's
it's not getting me going.
fair enough, and it's not going to be for everyone, right? I think. Do you think it also could have had an impact coming from Thailand, where Thailand's such a different experience in many ways? I feel like I haven't been to Japan, so I don't know, but I know how Thailand is. And you enjoyed Thailand?
I had a really great time in Thailand. I think, yeah, I really enjoyed my experiences there. And it was like, I felt on such an emotional high in Thailand. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'd say as a country, as a place that's just like foreign and different, like Japan is crazy. If I'm comparing the two, which again, apples to oranges, like Japan was crazy and just so different, but Thailand was also like, again, crazy and different, but like in a different way. And I think I was just on an emotional high, like in Thailand. I think I was just feeling really great, really grounded, very present, like really working on my grounding practices. Like I was meditating every day, I was working out every day, and I was hitting the pool pretty much every day. And also having like good quality alone time, good quality work time. So it was filling up and I also had a really close friend around. So it filled up all my cups really well and nicely. And here I've been sick. I haven't been like moving as much. Like it's on the cool, like it's been hot, but it's on the cooler side. Like it hasn't filled up any of my cups beyond like these new connections and like food. But yeah, the
Yeah.
food's been incredible and crazy,
Yeah.
but the food was also incredible and crazy.
Good.
I'm talking Thailand, so
Of course, just the whole of that region of the world is
oh yeah,
insane.
the food in Asia is
It's
wild.
interesting. I've always heard that Japan is like the food's incredible, right? Like amazing. It's got a reputation for it, as again the whole region
Yeah.
does. But my mum and Cheska went to Japan last year, I think it was, and they hated it. Like they hated the food, not the place they loved, but the food they just said was just not, which is so insane to me because like Cheska, for example, loves sushi, and so I don't know what went
Huh.
wrong, but I've heard the food is amazing
Yeah,
there.
food's incredible. Locations are really cool. I don't know. Maybe I think it's just a mixture of everything. I will say, as I'm feeling better, my mood is getting better, but I will be interested to see as I move to the next location how I feel. I leave Osaka in a couple of days. And actually, I'm thinking to talk about the rest of Japan at least. Yeah, I'm gonna be leaving Osaka for a couple of days. I'm going to like Hakone, or Hakone, some more like onsens, close to Mount Fuji. I'll be seeing Mount Fuji. And then I'm doing Disneyland Tokyo, which I'm so excited about. So Disneyland,
Nice. I didn't know that was a thing.
yeah, and I realized I've been to half the
Cool.
Disneyland, like Disney's in the world, and I'm like, okay, now I need to go to every single one. Hello,
So you've been to Paris?
and LA and Florida.
Okay, and there's more than
Yeah,
that? I didn't know there
there's
was
one in
more than
Tokyo, one in Hong
Japan.
Kong, and one in Shanghai.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. Okay,
so
cool.
I'm more than halfway there, and so I'm going to Disneyland Tokyo on my last day, and then flying to Singapore, and I'll be there for a bit. I'm really interested to see like how I feel moving to the next spot, and also being with like very close loved ones I'm gonna be with really close loved ones like literally for the rest of the year. I don't think I'm gonna be alone at all for until the rest of the year.
Good. So you're coming from a place where you're feeling a bit homesick and you're going to get that cup filled almost immediately for the rest of the year. And then I suppose you go,
No, I think I'm gonna have to
no?
send you a voice message because I don't want to put on here like where I'm gonna
No, no,
be.
no, of course, because it's in the
Yeah,
future.
but no, I'm not going straight home. The one thing I will say today, I'm going to date with Destiny. So I fly, yeah.
Of
So that's
course.
early
Of
December.
course.
So
Yeah.
I fly straight to Miami to do Date with Destiny. And then I'll be traveling about, and I'll be home for the holidays, or I'll be home at least for Christmas. I don't know if I'm going to go for New Year's yet, but that's the plan for now. But it's nice to have all my travel like sorted through that. Like my travel
Yeah.
list is 2 things and it's for the new year. I'm like, okay.
Okay. And you've booked those as
No, I
well?
haven't booked where I'm
No.
staying the first couple months of the year, but I did book my rhinoplasty. So I'm going to be,
No
yeah,
way.
mid-January,
In the new year.
January 15th.
Ah, that's so congratulations.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm going to be staying in that location where I'm getting my nose done for a couple of months. And it's actually like our favorite place. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Okay,
So
that's
that's where
real.
I've been, where I'm going. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I feel like it sounds like you've been traveling throughout this year. You're so exciting coming into this year, what direction your life was going to take. And then I think I've said this before, I think it's a perfect capitulation or of the year by going to Date with Destiny, taking everything that you've been feeling and experiencing from the past year, 2 years
Yeah.
even, and putting that into a major, one of the best Tony Robbins events that you can really go
Yeah.
to. And then you get to do your rhinoplasty in the new year. And that's just, I think that's so
It's
cool.
so crazy. Like it was just like we knew that Date with Destiny is gonna be like tying the bow on this year of growth, travel, fun, whatever. So I'm really excited about it, and we'll see what kind of craziness comes of it. I'm really excited, but I'm hoping
Yeah.
that physical health, mental health will be on the upswing. And we'll see how it goes to check in about it like later on. But what the hell is happening with you? My life has been crazy, but I know your life has been absolutely insane. What's going on?
Yeah, so I'll start with work because it's something that I think we need to talk about, but it's not something that needs a huge amount of depth. Work. So a couple of weeks ago, at the start of the month, so about 3 weeks ago, I passed probation, which is amazing. And, I worked so hard to do that. Probation, I don't know how it works in the US, but here it's about 4 months usually. And so I got 4 months in and they said, we love you. We see you've got a massive future at the company. You're going to do so well here. And they passed my probation. Then October hit and I have just had a fucking terrible month at work. It's been one of those months where nothing is sticking. No matter how much I do, nothing is sticking. And it's just been really difficult. For context, I've hit all of my targets since joining the company. This month I'm a long way off, and we've got 6 working days left, including today of the month, and I'm on like 27% of my target, so I'm like nowhere near. Whereas by now, in the previous months, I'd either hit the target or I was like very close. So it's been tough. It's been a really tough month, and that has been taking a fucking massive toll on my stress levels, on my mental health. It's just constantly in my mind. Stress, just real stress. It's like arguably the most intense work-related stress I think I've ever felt. And it's all pressure from myself. This is a crazy thing. Like, I've passed probation now. They're not going to sack me after one bad month, right? They're not going to get rid of me after one bad month. But yeah, I'm just stressed because I don't want to not hit my target. And it's not even about not hitting the target. It's the fact that I'm so far off at the moment. And I'm working so hard. I'm just like, I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall. And it's now got to a point where 2 days ago, so this would be my 3rd day, I started taking my ADHD medication again. And the difference it's made is enormous, as always. Let's say this month I've probably averaged maybe 25 calls a day. So not being particularly productive, but done kind of the bare minimum to get by. The last 2 days, so Wednesday, Thursday, the 2 days I've taken it, I've been on 70, 80 calls. I've literally tripled my workload. It's been insane. And I am seeing the results, but again, it's not quite turning into revenue just yet. I'm seeing the results in terms of my pipeline growing and whatever. But yeah, it's been really tough. And as we know, and being friends throughout pretty much the entirety of my ADHD journey,
It fucks you up.
I take the medication. Yeah, exactly. I take the medication, and it's only been 2 days, and I will be taking it again today. But it feels like it's sucking my soul out. Like it really improves my focus drastically, like my energy levels during the day. But then at the end of the day, I feel like I'm just dead inside. And this is what I remember about it. It's just so bad for health, and my mental health was already in a poor place. So is this the right time to be doing it? Yes, because work needs it, but no, because there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on that's detracting from my mental health. So I'm going to take it for the rest of the month and hopefully get to target as a result. But after that, I think I need to reassess. I can't be taking it consistently. I think I need to take it as and when I need it. And try and find other sort of coping mechanisms to overcome the ADHD. So that's work. And also, just as we've spoken about many times when trying to arrange this, which I'm so glad is finally happening, work is just being mental as well. I'm making X amount of calls a day, but I'm in meeting after meeting. I am just so busy, and I'm working after work, and it's just been crazy, and especially crazy considering I haven't been seeing the results. So it's frustrating. So that's work. I'll interject with a little kind of intermission here for something good, which is my physical health. Obviously, I guess pretty much when we last spoke, I was like very early in my personal
Yeah, you
trainer
just
journey.
started with them.
I'd pretty much just started. I am now, I think today is day 40, so a month and a half or
Yeah.
so. And I've dropped about 4 kg. I don't know what that is in pounds, but it's a lot. Sorry, actually now, as of this morning, about 5 kg, but that's a lot
Yeah.
in the space of a month. Really good, like physically, I'm feeling really strong. Every week I'm seeing my weights go up in the gym. I feel stronger. I look much better. I every week I have to take a progress photo for my
Yeah.
trainer, and I've been comparing kind of the first week to
Yeah.
every week, and my month long progress, like 4 weeks in, is just insane. And I've been so proud of it. I've been sending it to everyone because I'm just like, this is nuts. And everyone's, that's a month? How the fuck have you done that in a month? So yeah, that's something that's going very
Okay,
well
good.
at the moment.
That's typically my first question is, are you like moving?
Honestly, I think if I wasn't paying the money, as we spoke about with Adam, if I didn't have the accountability of paying that money to the personal trainer and working out as consistently as I am and eating healthily, I think I don't know what I'd be doing right now. Like mentally, I'd be just in the
Yeah.
bin. It'd be in a really bad place. So that's something that's going well. Jumping back to the bad
Okay.
things,
Just a quick
because it's
intermission for good.
necessary.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
let's go back to that.
yeah. Let's go back to bad, just temporarily. Savita is based. She's going back to India in January. So it's been a battle for the last 2 years that we've been seeing each other.
What? I
And
thought
it's
she got her visa.
no, yeah, we thought so too. We thought so too, but then it fell through. It's a whole thing. Work let her down, but it was also we were trying different avenues and they didn't work out. And then she went back to work and was like, "Can you help me?" And they said, "No, we can't really. Things have changed financially for us, so we can't do it." So it fell through, and it's really tough because our relationship has been in a really good place recently. And then it was creeping up on us. I think she knew much before I did. I knew, but I just didn't want to
Yeah.
accept it. So I started, again, since we last spoke, I started DBT therapy for BPD, which is something I've been meaning to do for a few months. And I finally started, I think I'm 3 weeks in now. So I spoke to them about it. So I mentioned it in the therapy session last week or 2 weeks ago. And I said, Savita, she keeps getting upset with me because I'm not really showing any emotion towards the situation. She thinks I don't care. And in reality, I wasn't feeling much emotion at all towards it. What the therapist said is, I'm experiencing basically acute grief. As there are so many different forms of grief, you were grieving very recently, multiple times actually in the last year.
Yeah.
And I have never really grieved, in all honesty. Like my granddad died a couple of years ago. I didn't really grieve. When people die, it doesn't really impact me that drastically. For some reason, I'm not too sure why. Maybe that's something worth mentioning in my therapy. But in breakups, I have felt it every time. And this isn't a breakup. By no means this is a breakup, of course. But she's leaving. And so it is a form of grief. I'm losing such a major part of my life. She's moved in. She's living with me now. I'm with her. Even before she moved in, I was with her pretty much every day. So I'm losing a huge part of my life. And it's what they said is anticipatory grief. So my brain is already experiencing it before it's even happened because I know it's happening. And so what they were saying is I'm in the denial phase of grief because I'm dissociating from the idea of it. I'm not accepting that it's happening. But that was a couple of weeks ago. And I would say over the last week, I've started to move very much into the hardcore grieving stage where it's really been like upsetting me and just feeling really just gut-wrenchingly sad about it. It's a horrible situation, like horrible feeling. A couple of nights ago, I went out for dinner with my dad and Cheska. And I got back and I just, on my way back, and again, I think it was possibly the ADHD medication taking its toll, but I just felt so fucking sad. I felt like the emotion was suddenly intensified, and it was, yeah, it's horrible. Like, it's a horrible feeling. And I we have a contingency plan because I've always said I would never do long distance again without a serious
Yeah.
plan. So we do have that. But it's so much uncertainty, and I don't know what's going to happen really. I don't know how long it's going to
Yeah.
be. The immediate plan is that she's going to go back in Jan, which is when her visa expires. So she'll stay here for Christmas, New Year's, which will be really nice. And then first week of January, she'll go back. And then probably February, March, I will go out there for about a month and a half. I can work from there. I can work from anywhere I want for a
Okay.
month. So I'll take advantage of that and work from there for a month. And then maybe take an extra 2 weeks holiday so I can stay for a month and a
Okay.
half. But then after that, we don't know. And I think the biggest fear I have is that we're talking about bringing her back. She's going there. Her plan is in December to do a Be Right Back drinks, which is a nice idea. It's not a leaving drinks. It's a I'm coming back. This is just a goodbye for a few
Yeah.
months. The idea at the moment is that she's going to go back. Come like March, we'll officially have been together for 2 years. In order to qualify for a partner visa, you have to be able to prove that you've been together for 2 years. Now, whether we can prove 2 years at that point, I don't know. So we're going to have to look into that, and we should probably be looking at it now, to be
Yeah.
honest. But even if we can't then, we'll be able to prove it from May, June, a couple of months later. So it'll be a few months.
Yeah. Also, I think just speaking of that logistically, I would go back through our old voice notes because we talked about it back then.
Was it positive stuff, though? I feel like maybe in the days
Maybe
it
like
was.
you, because
Yeah.
around March we saw each other. I feel like there has to be proof between us that we talked about it at that point.
Yeah, and I think we can literally use any get.
I would just go back through if that's just an option.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, actually. Go back to the early days. There's a lot of voice messages to listen to.
You'll have to look at this somewhere around the
because we were really
dates.
in our voice message
Yeah,
era
we
then.
were. Oh my
Yeah.
God, we were deep in voice message era back then. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, it's literally anything to evidence it. I went to this Shabbat dinner thing a couple of weeks ago with just a bunch of strangers. I met this couple who one of them's American, one of them is from the UK but was living in the States, and they got a partner visa, but they'd been together for 10 years since they were like 15, so they were like a high school sweethearts basically, or summer camp sweethearts. And they were talking me through the process and saying they had to make a presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation, where they had to show all the aspects of their relationship and how they met and just everything.
Yeah.
So we need to do something like that, and we can. I think we can, but we should probably start working on it now, and actually that's something I'm going to bring up with her today probably. Because, yeah, so anyway, the idea is that it's going to be a few months, but my fear that keeps going through my head, and I said this to her yesterday, is that she's going to go back. She doesn't like London. She misses home a huge amount. She's so close with her family and friends back there. She's never really built a life for herself here outside of me. And she has her friends from university, but they're all over the place. So, yeah, my fear is she's going to go back and be so loved and comforted by her family that she's missed so much. So happy back with the sun 365 days a year and her beautiful city and all her friends. And she's going to go, yeah, I don't really want to come. I think she's told me this multiple times, which has instilled this fear in me. She's like, my absolute dream, like the best thing that could, this is quite sweet actually. She said the best thing that could ever happen in my life would be if you agreed to move to India.
Wow.
And I've always said to her, it's not happening. Like, I could move to India for a couple of years, but I would never raise a family there. I could see myself living in Bangalore or somewhere in the south of India, just temporarily, just to experience it. But yeah, I wouldn't want to raise a family there away from my family, which is hard because, of course, she feels the same way about it. But I knew this from the very early days. And I said to her, and I think I'm sure we spoke about it, when I was in the early days of dating her, I didn't want to commit And I was very avoidant with her because there was this uncertainty surrounding her visa. And it was literally 2 years ago, over 2 years ago now, we were having this. I was talking to her and saying, I don't want to commit to you yet. She was trying to get me to commit. And I was like, I don't want to yet because I don't know what's happening. I need to know what's happening. She was like, don't worry, I'll know by 6 months, basically by the summer 2 years ago. Nothing. Still 2 years later. So it's a crazy situation. Just one more thing to on top of that. Those are the two main things: work and love. There's no other major issue. But I spoke to my therapist about this, and they said, again, you have to give credit to, because I was talking about how shit I've been feeling, like just low mood, low energy, just sad, just actually such a broad range of emotions, not just sad, like angry. I'm going through all the emotions of grief, right? But they said, right now you're experiencing insane stress at work, insane emotional swings with your relationship. The weather has changed, and so that, as always, is going to be taking a massive impact on me. So yeah, there's like a triple threat there, which is really fucking me up. And so as I say, if I wasn't moving my body, I don't know what I'd do.
Okay, at the very least, unless always my first question is if you're moving your body. So at the very least, at least you are taking care of your physical health, because it's one of those situations where, like, when it rains, it pours, like when everything falls apart at once. And there are seasons of life that this happens. And you've seen me go through it. I've seen you go through it before. It's just like one of those seasons of life where the shit's just hitting the fan. And it's okay in these moments, because we know that seasons of life, right? In these moments, what can we do to get through it in the best way possible? Because we're not going to be 100% all the time. Like, life is going to suck sometimes. That's literally the whole point of life. It's like a roller coaster for a reason. And then what can you do to make it as bearable as possible, but to get through it in a way that's, you get through it, and on the other side you feel proud with the struggle you went through. And also at the same time, if we zoom out in the big picture, is the great times in life are not the things that make you stronger. It's these really shitty moments. Like, you grow through what you go through, and that sucks. And it sucks to hear, to be like, I don't like, everything happens for a reason is like true, but also bullshit. But it's like, the growth that is happening right now, because you're being squeezed from every which angle, is like, the growth on the other side of this will be tremendous because of how difficult this is right now. Which, like, zooming out it's harder to, like, easier said than done. And when you're zooming out, it's hard to see that when you're fucking you're in the hurricane right now. It's like hard to see that it's gonna be clear skies at some point, but it's not, because you're getting hit with, like, probably the two biggest areas of life that impact everything. And I'd say health too. Like, those three they're all really important, but like career, love, and health are like the trifecta.
Because that's what you spend your most time on and thinking about and with. So that's a good point.
Like, those three are like kind of foundational. Like, they're the foundation to everything else. If your career is not going well, and if you're fighting with your partner, and your health is down the drain, like, everything else is shit. It's impossible to have anything be going. So I will say,
that's a really good point, because I did an updated wheel last week, and because I was feeling shit, and I was like, is my life, like, is it really falling apart? Is it really as bad as it feels right now? And actually, I was probably a solid 7. I didn't really have any high ones. I'd say family was like a 9 right now, because it's pretty good. But yeah, solid 7s across the board. Like, decent, not bad, not good. But then it was just those. It was relationship that was low, career that was low. Yeah, it's interesting because those are so low, it makes it feel like everything else is shit.
It drags everything down. I just think about when I was with my ex, and if we were fighting, like, I couldn't focus. I couldn't do anything. You've seen me this whole year. Like, I'm crying at work sometimes, or it's hard to function if you're fighting with your partner, and if career's not going well, and like, it impacts everything else, especially if you have extreme stress levels. So those, as much as the wheel is important, and like every area is super, super important, like foundation, health, love, career. And because 2 out of 3 of those, like, one's going really well, and because the other 2 areas are like not, thank God you have your health right now. But good to know that the rest of your wheels like a good solid 7, 9, like we're sitting at like a good top tier range there. But it's like, as far as stress with work goes, because there's two separate issues. First of all, both of these situations are stressful. And I wouldn't say they're out of your control. Like, I'd say like the love stuff is a little bit out of your control. There's not much you can do there. And like, honestly, it is the most unbearable feeling of dealing with grief of, it's like heartbreak, but it's not, because you guys are still staying together. So it's, all right, you guys are still, yeah, you're staying together. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's
Yeah.
heartbreak and it's grief and it's loss, even though you still are with the person, and it's really painful, but it feels the same as a breakup. Like, it feels like it's the same emotion. So you're literally preemptively preparing yourself for a really intense emotional like breakup, which is not, it's not a breakup, but it's like emotionally it's still the same, like that kind of heartbreak. And you're preparing yourself for that, which is literally
Yeah.
the worst feeling in the entire fucking world. And then on top of it, like the career stress is just like insane. So the career stuff, at least you're taking the medication. I'm a little concerned about the aftermath of your mental health after that. I'm a little concerned there. I'm like, not gonna lie to you. You're gonna have to develop the strategies, make sure you're sitting in the sun, like making sure you're like getting sunshine on your face, taking vitamin D, like taking vitamins, making sure you're still moving your body, all of that. But it's, I wish I could be like, these are the strategies we can do and the tools we can do to get you through it. But unfortunately, it's just like beyond working your ass off at work, which you're already doing, and spending good quality time with Savita and like making sure you guys are like doing what you can. Like beyond those two things, like
Yeah.
you really just have to get through it. I will say in this time though, I would spend time in reflection about what you're learning through this, because the correlation of how you grow to what you go through is linked. And even though this is literally the shittiest thing in the world, like spending time thinking about like the growth that's happening through it is real. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think what I'm really trying to do at the moment is focusing on controlling the controllables. And a few days ago, it felt like work and my relationship were out of my control. It really felt like they are not something I can control, and I just have to live with it and accept it. But then the more I've thought about it, there are still things I can control within both situations. So that's why a couple of days ago I started taking my ADHD medication to try and just 3, 4, 5x my workload, and hope that sees the results. And to be honest, as I said, I've probably tripled my workload the last couple of days. My pipeline has grown. I got a huge pitch out yesterday for a £1,000 a month contract, which would be insane. That would be like one of the biggest deals that anyone's done since I joined the company. And I'm manifesting the shit out of that. If that happens, then my target's basically done.
Hell yeah.
Like I'm sorted. Yeah, that's how far off I am. And bear in mind, our average deal value is probably about 150. So a £1,000 deal is huge. So I got this pitch out yesterday. It went really well, and it's going to happen. £1,000 a month in the bag. But anyway, I've learned that I can actually, there's an element of control I can put into that. And also, even if I'm not getting the results from work, like I'm not getting the income from it, at least I'm showing willingness. I'm showing that I'm working my ass off, and they can't complain about it. And then with my relationship, I come to the conclusion, what can I control? I can just pour myself into it for the months, give it my all, really immerse into it. And we have to have these difficult conversations over the course of the next couple of months, and we have to start planning, and it's going to hurt. And actually, the more I pour myself into it, it's probably going to hurt. Not probably, it's going to hurt even more when she leaves. But I think I need to pour myself into it and not even think about the prospect of leaving it and quitting. Because I have something so good here. Like I'm so lucky, and I'm seeing it every day at the moment. People in bad relationships. It's almost like the media is targeting me. I'm off social media at the moment, but as I read the news, and I've read It was a couple of days ago, there were two articles that I saw on the homepage of this newspaper website, which were related to lonely men. And I was like, what the fuck? How is this coming up for me right now?
Yeah.
And it's not even like the newspaper is algorithm based. It's just that's what came up
Yeah.
that day. So I was like, yeah, anyway, pouring myself into it, not even think about the option of quitting and persevering and just seeing where it goes. And actually also pouring myself into the idea of long distance for a few months. If it rolls on beyond that and there's no end in sight, then, it's a whole other thing. But right now, just to stay positive about it, as positive as possible, and remind myself that I see a future there. I see a future in that there are possibilities that are going to work. And the moment those possibilities go out the window, then I start to reconsider my positivity. But right now, I have reason to be positive.
Exactly. You have reason to be positive. Pour yourself into the relationship, and also pour yourself into, you guys are together right now. So work on this like PowerPoint situation of what would it
Yeah.
look like to apply for this partner visa. Pour yourself into that as well. And I think it would be like a nice project to work for you guys to work on together. And to make it like a celebratory thing about, you guys have been together 2 years and you guys were hooking up before that. And so she's been in your life for what, like 3 years at this point now. So I think, yeah, pour yourself into it. And it's like, yeah, I think you're right. Focus on the things that you can control. Focus on the growth that's happening in these moments. And like, you could take your medication and make sure you offset the mental health stuff, and you can pour as much love as possible into your relationship. And I will say, this is so unrelated, but so unrelated in the sense of the experiences. So take it with a handful of salt. But I just remember, like, which I'm not saying you're leaving your relationship, but I'm just saying the feeling is when I left my relationship, the one thing that gave me so much comfort was knowing that I gave everything. I gave everything. There was not a stone that I left unturned. There was not something that I did not do to make it work. There was not something I didn't do for my ex, to make him happy. And it's until I poured myself to the relationship and afterwards ended, I have zero regrets saying, oh man, I wish I tried harder, or I wish I did things differently. And I know he has those regrets because I've had a conversation with him and he told me that he did. I'd say it's not a breakup in the same sense, but it's like knowing that when you get to the end of this, this chapter of the relationship, knowing that you gave everything to it is such is such a relief, because to have her go back and be like, oh man, I wish I spent more time with her, or I wish I told her that I loved her, I wished I was showing her how much I'm gonna miss her. To have those kind of regrets are not something you want to have. So focus on how can you give as much as possible, so that when she does have to go back for a couple months, I gave it everything.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, no, 100%. That's the shift that I've had mentally the last couple of days into just, pouring myself into it and embracing it, actually, more than anything. Just embracing the situation and being as positive as possible, because actually you can find gratitude in every situation, right? No matter what, you can find gratitude somewhere. And I think the positive spin and the gratitude in this situation is that right now there is yes, she's going back in January, but there's so many positive ways to look at that. It's not permanent. As I say, she's already looking at it from a perspective. My fear of her just wanting to stay, at the moment, she's not looking at it that way. She's thinking it from a perspective of, I want to be with Josh, I want to come back. And she's got her be right back drinks, for example. That sort of is something to be positive about. And we're talking about a plan. And I think as you said, I think it'd be a nice bonding experience actually before she goes away to start working on this presentation. I think it's actually a really nice thing to do, to look back on your relationship and try and find evidence of cute photos and
texts and
cute chats and voice messages and that kind of thing.
And how cute! Oh my god, how cute would it be if you put it all in the fucking book for her? I'm just saying. Anyway, it's all gonna be there. I'm just saying, what a cute gift idea. Just throwing that out there. But there's gratitude to be had. I think her leaving is giving you the opportunity to realize how good you have it. And the shit you're going through with work is giving you the opportunity to understand your capabilities and to understand how much grit you truly have. And both of the situations together in this perfect storm is teaching you about life, and it's teaching you about what you're going through, what you're learning in these moments. And I just be present with that as much as possible, even though it sucks. There's literally no getting around it. It fucking sucks. But focus on what you can control and focus on the gratitude of what you're getting out of the situation as well. Because 10 months after a ridiculously shitty situation, or 11 months after a ridiculously shitty situation, and like the amount of growth that's happened in these like super shitty moments is insane.
Of course. No, absolutely. I think the people that can push through these tough times, they come out so much stronger.
Yeah.
And I actually saw a quote a couple of days ago just came up on my computer from the daily quote thing. It was basically along the lines of exactly what you're saying. Everyone is going to experience tough times, and everyone is going to show cracks throughout their life. But when you persevere and you push through it, those cracks patch over and they become much stronger.
Yeah.
And we know this more than
anybody. And it's just a shit time right now, but focus on when you can control and focus on the growth that's happening right now. And it's shitty. But now I know I gotta fucking reach out to Savita because, oh my God, that's tough.
Maybe don't for the time being. I'd be hesitant just because I think she's not enjoying talking about it very much.
There's some time, but
And she
definitely gotta wend
she's in a position at some point, of course, she's in a position, she said this the other day, where she accepted it a while ago because she's not been in denial. She's been living the situation firsthand, so it's been impossible for her to be in denial. It's
a daily thing for her for years.
She's known it's happening for a long time. And so she's accepted it. And so she doesn't need to talk about it as much. I think when she does talk about it, it makes her sad. Whereas for me, I'm very much processing it right now.
Yeah, and I think you will be processing it through a lot right now, but I think we're really going to have to work through mental health stuff come the new year, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of your grief is going to happen after she goes.
I agree. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. No, it's going to be a different kind of grief, I think, to what I'm experiencing at the moment. But it'll be there. It'll be there. But listen, as always, we'll get there.
We'll get there. I have a book rec for you when we get there. I just finished it, but it got me real good. Which I know you're like not really reading a ton anyway right now, but still, maybe I'll read it to you. Over voice.
Yeah, being off social media, I'm reading more as you would expect, but
Okay, good. Also, something else great you're doing for your mental health as well. It's like staying off the socials.
Yeah, this is a fairly new thing. I was scrolling much less. I haven't been scrolling for a while, but I thought I'd just go cold turkey and just come off my personal social medias.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway. Thanks for getting on so early. We're going to chat anyway with our good friend Kyla in a couple days. So we'll be able to get back on and touch base in a couple days, see how it's going, because we cannot, a month without speaking is like actually jail for both of us.
It's
jail.
Listen, no matter how manic life gets, which I think it has been for both of us recently, there's no excuse. And
we always feel better after
you can always find time for friends. Exactly. Yeah, I think it's more about time and being busy. You can always find time, even just for a voice message, right?
Yeah, even if we can,
it's
like talk.
Sometimes you just need a reminder as to that there is a real world back away from work.
Yeah, completely. No, I get it. I've been sucked into like my immediate life and everything, so it's been tough too. But it's just seasons of life.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I love you so much. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and follow along on social media.
If you would like us to help you mastermind something in your life, please send us a message.
We'll see you next week on the Mastermind Moments podcast.